Hello and welcome to Sports Brunch with Sam Taylor, Eddie Aikin and Harry Dunning. A 24-hour roundup of the previous sports news. Jose Mourinho said he was happy with the away goal and keeping a fully fit squad following Manchester United's 1-1 draw with the Russian side Rostov in their last 16 Europa League clash. The EFL Trophy winners took the lead on 35 minutes after an incisive finish from the returning Henrik Mkhitaryan before Rostov equalised against the run of play with an angled ball from the impressive Timofey Kalichev before it was tucked away by Alexander Bukharov. So this is Harry Dunning, expert on what happened at our last night's game. What did you make of the performance?
Well, there was a lot of talk before the game about how bad the pitch was, and obviously when you go away to Russia it's going to be a difficult game all in all because you're travelling a lot and the pitches are always tend to be quite bad, but the game in itself was rubbish really from the get-go, and that probably had something to do with the pitch. You know, that had a lot to do with it really. I mean, the game was dead after like the first half an hour when a few people had run around on the pitch for a bit. I mean, they scored a good goal, FC Rostov, and Man United's goal was good, but apart from that there was nothing really to the game.
Could you not really argue though that these professional players, surely they would have grown up on a grassroots level football pitch? Surely they should have been used to them sort of conditions.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can't argue too much because at least the pitch was flat as well. You know, it could be a lot worse than the way it was last night. And it was just a typical Europa League slogging bad pitch game really that you get in these type of matches.
Thank you very much. Alex Hales returned to the top of the order after a hand injury to score his 6th ODI 100 as England completed a one-day series whitewash against the West Indies in Barbados. The Nottinghamshire batter was supported by new Test captain Joe Root, who also reached 3 figures as Owen Morgan's side reached 328 batting first on a pitch more conducive to stroke play. I'm joined here by our cricket and rugby correspondent, Edward Aikin. What did you make of the series as a whole, and do you think that England were that good against West Indies?
I think the series was good for England, especially. Obviously, the 3-0 scoreline was fairly impressive. But let's not beat around the bush. This West Indies side is pretty poor. I think they're ranked 7th in the world in ODIs. So, you know, it's not as if we're playing one of the top tier sides in Australia or South Africa. So we have to take that into consideration. But it was impressive. The batting, especially in tricky conditions. They've been in India and Bangladesh, which has also been tricky for the batters. And I think they've coped especially well. I would say that at the top of the order in Jason Roy, they've been fantastic, and Alex Hales is, of course, scoring his 3rd ODI 100. So all in all, England are in a good place.
Would you argue that this is probably the best ODI side England have ever had?
It's difficult to compare eras, but this is one of the best England sides we've had, especially the batting. The top 6 are all world-class batters in the ODI side. You could argue that Alex Hales, Jason Roy, Joe Root would all get in a World 11. And then you've got to add into the mix Ben Stokes, Josh Buttler. The bowling needs a little bit of tweaking. Mark Wood has got to come back from injury. There's still question marks over Liam Plunkett. Adil Rashid's been expensive, although he has taken wickets. So, as I say, it's difficult to compare eras, but this England side is a force to be reckoned with.
Vinny Vunipola only makes the bench as England named 3 changes to the side that saw off Italy a fortnight ago. Jack Nowell, Jonathan Joseph and Ben Youngs all returned to England's backline as they look to go 18 games unbeaten under Eddie Jones. Back to you, Ed. Are you confident against Scotland tomorrow?
Reasonably. This England side is in good shape. Like their cricket counterparts, they're in really good form. As you say, they could go 18 unbeaten under Eddie Jones. A fortnight ago, when they played Italy, we all know what happened there with the Italian tactics, and whether you think that's right or wrong. England didn't cope with it well until the second half, but I expect this game to be completely different against Scotland. It'll be a more traditional game of rugby, more physical, more rucks, but I think England will have a big advantage. I would expect them to come out on top. I would probably say by 10 to 15 points, I'd expect England to win to keep this winning streak going.
Are you happy with Eddie Jones not risking Vinny Vunipola, or would you have done it?
It's difficult to say. Only the the fitness coaches and Eddie Jones himself knows just how fit Billy is. So he's the one that made that call. Nathan Hughes has done okay without being fantastic in the series so far. He's shown that he can step in for Vunipola, but he's not on that kind of world-class status that Billy is. There's no doubt that he's one of the best number 8s in the world, probably only rivalled with Kieran Reid of New Zealand. But I think Billy will make an impact off the bench. I'd expect him to come on around the 60-minute mark, maybe just before. England hopefully will be ahead by then and to see out the game. So I think that as England fans so far, we should be happy with what Eddie Jones has done and we should respect his decision.
Are you confident with Grand Slam this year, or do you still fear Ireland?
Well, of course, England have got to go to Ireland in the last game of the Six Nations, which could be the Six Nations could ride on that game. I think it's going to be difficult. I think all the sides get up for England. They see us as the big scalp, so I think it will be difficult. But take one game at a time. I'd expect them to win tomorrow, like I already said. So I think that they've got one hell of a chance, and to do it 2 years in a row would be something very impressive indeed.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank our guests Eddie Ikin and Harry Dunning for joining us, and I'll see you soon.